Ladies and gentlemen, live from a small room in his house, it's the James Whale Radio Show. Thank you very much indeed. Welcome to the program. Welcome to all those of you who may have seen my little Periscope video. I'm just getting the hang of it. I'm not really sure if I know what I'm doing. And the worrying thing is, as soon as I turn it on, I'm not necessarily ready. But there we are. So if you did, thank you for joining us. And of course, today on the program, hopefully, fingers crossed today, we'll get to talk to Paddy McGuiness and find out what he's up to, what he isn't up to. Rob's here. He produces the program. Rob sits while we do this show in a little room in a garret somewhere in North Wales. I, on the other hand, am down in the sophisticated part of the country in the capital. So, are we ready?
We are ready, yes. Yeah, I'm always ready.
Okay. You can hear me up there in Wales, can you?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yeah. Okay. Weather down here has been remarkable. What's it been like in Wales?
Remarkable also.
Remarkably grey, cold and drizzly.
There's a bit of sun.
You don't get much sun where you are, do you?
When it's sunny, we get very, very hot sun.
Yes, of course you do. Of course you do. And of course, as you are an Englishman living in Wales, you'll be regularly ostracised, I suppose.
Saying nothing.
Should we talk about the Welsh? I am, by the way, I am born of a Welsh mother from Rumney in the Valley. See, I wasn't born in Wales. My father was English, but my mother was Welsh, so that makes me more or less Welsh. So am I entitled to be rude?
You're more Welsh than I am.
You're not Welsh at all. What are you talking about?
That's very true, yes.
Although you did marry a Welsh lady.
I did, yes.
Yeah, well, there we are. They're very popular, these sort of marriages now, helping to sort of bond the different countries.
Dilute the gene pool.
Yes, exactly. Now, we don't want to discuss the Welsh language on today's programme, do we?
Not particularly, no.
Because you get very worried and you get threats.
Is that some sort of disease?
No, that's Tourette's.
Oh.
Yeah. Anyway, welcome to the programme. Nice to have you with us today. This is a program. I'm not really 100% sure what it is. I just talk rubbish for about an hour, and maybe if we can coax somebody to talk to me, we will. And if you look back through the old programs, you'll find politicians, celebrities, people you've never heard of. What else have we done?
Well, we've done all sorts. I think you just
we've done all sorts.
Yeah. I don't think there's anything we haven't done.
No, I don't think there is. I think you're absolutely right. So I've got a bee in my bonnet about fly tipping at the moment. Do you want to talk about fly tipping? I'd like to string up people who fly tip.
Have you had a spot of bother with fly tipping then? Have you had someone...
Well, no. Well, I just, I was out the other day, yes, and I driving down a road, and we couldn't get through this little country lane because some pathetic moron, had decided to dump an enormous amount of old building waste, old rubble, a half a plantation of Leylandii trees. Just dumped it. Just obviously couldn't be asked to take it to a tip. They just dumped it in the middle of a lane, and I'm getting sick of it.
Well, I'm not very happy about recyclers.
Well, what sort of recyclers? What are you talking about?
The ones that put those stupid little tubs out in the street, thinking they're doing the planet some good, and then the following morning, all the rubbish blows down the street, contaminating the planet.
Well, I prosecute them for doing it, because if they're too stupid to put a lid on it, they ought not to be allowed to recycle. And the other thing I noticed the other day, that we get people here who come, they pick up our ordinary rubbish, the mucky rubbish, every 2 weeks, and that's an inconvenience and a half. And then they pick up the garden refuge every 2 weeks as well. And if you mix them up, it makes no difference at all. They just tip it in whichever bin happens to be there. So how can that? And then we've got a little box to put paper and cardboard out in. And if you put that out, they send another truck So that's obviously doing the planet an enormous amount of good. It's just rubbish in my view. Well, it's just rubbish in my view. I'll tell you how we could sort this problem out. We could build new state-of-the-art incinerators that incinerate everything. You can find them in all sorts of other parts of the world, and you link them in because they burn everything they'll burn everything. Everything you can think of, they'll stick it in there and they'll burn it, and that will actually provide us with energy. And it's in a way a free source of energy. Why aren't we doing that? We shouldn't be filling holes in the ground with this stuff. We should be taking it to new state-of-the-art incinerators. The problem is, I don't want an incinerator in my backyard. No, I don't want that. Yes, well, it should be compulsory. It should be compulsory, and it's renewable energy. Let's start burning our waste and using it to heat our homes. Hang on, could we put a round of applause in when I finish that? In the finished thing?
Okay. We need a volcano. That's what we need. Tip everything into a volcano.
That's not a bad idea from somebody like you.
Thank you.
That's all right. It's a stupid idea, but it's not a bad idea. What we need is a state-of-the-art incinerator, all right?
Won't that get rid of all our precious metals and things?
I don't know. I just do it. Just do it. Just do it. I'll tell you what. Oh, by the way, as you know, this program is partially sponsored by Ford. I'm driving a new Ford Focus at the moment. And I have to say, I'm very impressed.
I like it.
I hated the shape of the old Focus, but this one, somebody said to me, it looks like an Aston Martin from the front, and it does. Of course, Ford own part of Aston Martin, don't they?
Do they still own it?
Well, I think they own the rights of the what do they call the intellectual rights or something like that?
Intellectual property rights.
Yeah. No, but I tell you what, it's really economical. I'm getting nearly, not quite, I'm getting about 46 miles to the gallon.
That's not bad. That's not bad at all.
No, it's not bad. Not bad at all. Somebody said, well, why are you mentioning Focus? Well, they send me a car to test. You want to send me something to test? I'll test it for you. You go into our shop because if you want to be blatantly commercial, you can get James Whale Show T-shirts, sun hats. What else have we got?
Books, signed books.
Oh, signed books by that fabulous broadcaster, Mr. James Whale. Yeah, you can check those out. Let's say hi to those of you listening sous le continent, and of course those of you listening on the other side of the world. We've got listeners now in the Middle East, Australasia. That's Australia, isn't it?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. America, big thumbs up to those people listening on a couple of radio stations in New York as well. Welcome to the program. I am now going to let's get on Paddy McGuinness. Is it time for Paddy or not?
Yeah, I'll phone Paddy now.
Let's get Paddy on.
Sitting in my room and I'm on my own. It's cold outside and I'm feeling alone. So I turn that dial and my radio's on. I hear James Whale and my troubles are gone. I hear James Whale on the radio. I hear James Whale and his podcast show. I hear James Whale on the radio. James Whale and his podcast show. James Whale on the radio.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello, are you alright?
I'm fine.
I'm all right. You all right?
Good. Yeah, not so bad. I can hear you clear now and all.
Good. Hey, Paddy, James, shall we go for it, mate? And then you'll...
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it, because
Okay.
I'm a bit pushed anyhow.
All right, okay. Now, people keep saying I haven't had many A-list celebrities on the program, so you can't get any more A-list, can you, than the man ITV want to host nearly every program, Mr. Paddy McGuinness.
Hello, James.
Hey, take me out, Paddy, take me out.
Thanks for saying A-list. I'm gonna have that on my gravestone.
How did you suddenly become It's a difficult question. It's a silly question, but suddenly you are the flavour of the month, and you've been going for a long time, my friend, haven't you?
Yeah, it's a little word I like to use called blackmail. I've got photos of people in the shower in high places at ITV. I don't know. It's funny, really. You're right, because a lot of people don't know I've been working in telly for like 17, 18 years. And a sort of, you know, a jobbing kind of, really, I was doing like bits of stand-up and bits of writing for radio and bits of TV and game shows and cropping up on the odd panel show and what have you. And it was only really when I started doing Saturday night TV that it puts you in a different sort of place to other kind of TV work. You know, it's a really pressurised environment to work in Saturday night TV, but I love that, you know, so I've enjoyed it.
But, I mean, you were, I suppose people remember you from Phoenix Nights as well, wasn't it?
Yeah, we started with Phoenix Nights, and, you know, I've said it many a time, I was still working in a leisure centre when we filmed those, because I'd always had it instilled in me by my mum, you know, and the area I grew up in is if you didn't work, you know, you didn't eat. So I never really kind of had any ambitions to go to university or anything like that. So when I was working, and then this sort of Phoenix Nights came along, I thought, well, I can't quit my job because I won't have any money coming in. So I used to go over, record scenes and what have you, and literally finish some days on set and go straight to the local council facility and don my red shorts and walk around the pool.
I can't actually picture you as a sort of a lifeguard in a leisure centre.
But you've got to bear in mind, I was in my 20s, James. I'm 41 now.
You're a fine figure of a man now, Paddy.
I'm coming on your show every week. I feel 10 feet tall. I've had A-list, and I've been told I'm a fine figure of a man. I'm lapping this up, James.
Yeah, just wait till I put the difficult one in right at the end. Listen, what is it like doing? You did the live Phoenix Nights, didn't you?
Yeah, we did. We did 16 nights at the Manchester Arena, and we came up with the idea to do it for comic relief, and we thought, right, see how it works. And we put one night on sale, and that sold out within, you know, I think it was an hour it sold out, you know. And bearing in mind, it's 15,000 people in there. Yeah. So then we put a second night on, and that sold out, and then a third night, and then it just grew into this 16 nights, you know, 15,000 people a night we played to. And it was really flattering for us personally, because that show, when it originally came on Channel 4, was around about 12, 13, 14 years ago. So for people to sort of come out and support us and pay their hard-earned cash, which went to comic relief, and raise £5.5 million and still feel the love for the show, was like, it was the best thing ever, really.
Could you ever see it going on tour? There'd be a lot of people around the country who just loved Phoenix Nights and would come and see it, I'm sure. Yeah,
I doubt it, James. I doubt it. I think we all sort of agreed, you know, we all came together for that one sort of cause for comic relief, and we thought, yeah, we'll do that, and we can raise a lot of money for charity, and we can get it all done in one hit. And I think that'll be that, sir. Sadly, but you know, everyone's working and doing different things.
All right, let's talk about you. Let's talk about Take Me Out. Did you ever reckon, because it got quite a slagging when it first came on, did you reckon it would ever take off the way it has?
It's funny. Listen, you know yourself what telly's like, James. You've done plenty of telly over the years. And getting slagged off by TV critics when you've done it for a long time doesn't really have the same sort of... You expect that with any show you do. You know, you never expect it to hit the ground running. The one thing for me personally with Take Me Out was I'd invested so much of myself in it, and being on Saturday night TV and what have you, that I can't watch that first series anymore because it was such a difficult thing to get my head around presenting. I thought I could do it. I thought it'd be really easy, but it isn't. So all I was wishing at the time was I wasn't worried about the critical side of things. I was just worried about if ITV liked it, because I thought if they give me another chance at another series, I think I can do a better job. Now, thank the Lord, they did, and we got that chance. And luckily by then, the momentum had built on the series where people were saying, oh, it's a guilty pleasure, have you seen this show, and all that kind of stuff. But then from the second series, and especially the third series, now people just watch it because they enjoy it. They don't even look at it as a guilty pleasure anymore. And we've just finished Series 7, which in this day and age with TV is amazing, because you don't get that longer run, really.
No, it's brilliant. I mean, it is a guilty pleasure because you think to yourself, I shouldn't really be watching this. This is wrong.
That's just you, James.
Yeah. Well, Mrs. W comes in and slaps me around the back of the head and said, what are you watching this for? You've got one at home.
But it is amazing. I still, the reason I enjoy doing the show is because kind of like, 80% of that show's ad-libbed. So for me personally, it's a gift because I can have so much fun. I mean, half the stuff that doesn't make it on TV is fantastic, but we can only put so much on a family show on a Saturday night.
I want to know where the Isle of Fernando is and how much action there is there.
I'll take you one day, me and you. We'll go over for a boys'
on
weekend.
A date, looking lovingly into each other's eyes as the sun sets across the bay.
Yeah, wouldn't that be nice? Over a margarita.
Listen, you've got so much stuff going on at the moment. I remember talking to Dale Winton once, and Dale was saying to me, this is, I won't do his voice, saying this is great. He said, everybody wants a piece of Dale Winton, he said, and I'll do every job coming because soon everybody will not be able to get me, so they'll want somebody like Dale Winton, he said, and then they'll want anybody as long as they're nothing like Dale Winton. Do you have the same thought in your mind?
Well, unlike Dale, I turn a lot of stuff down, believe it or not. I only ever do anything, and I've been like this since I first started, if I like it, or if I think there's something there. I've never, ever taken a job just for a paycheck, never. So I've been going a while, and like you say, it's just, luckily, some of the programs I've done have done really well. So I don't know. I think there is definitely a scope to carry on and on and on in this business, but you've just got to pick the right things and do what you feel comfortable with. I think, like you say, if you take every single job that comes in, one, you'd never see your family, and two, after about 12 months, everyone would be sick of the sight of you.
Yeah, I think you're right. Speaking as one who has been doing it now for much longer than I care to remember. Do you think the delivery man is? It's really weird. It has to be said, which is all about a male midwife. You don't play the male midwife, by the way.
No, it's about a police officer who quits his job in the force to become a midwife. And it's kind of all the problems he faces working in a really female-dominated industry, and how he gets treated by the female midwives. That's kind of where the story lies, really.
And you play the security guard who's not sure one way or the other.
But basically, I start off the first episode. I'm still in the police force, and then what happens at the end of the first episode, I kind of come busting in saying there's a load of drugs gone missing out my car. And then which leads to me being suspended. So then I get into Matthew, who's Darren's character, to ask him if he can get me on at the hospital, and he gets me on as security. But that's the mistake he makes, because I'm in then. It's like inviting a vampire into your house. You've had it. So, and that's where I come into it more then over the weeks, you see.
You see, the interesting thing is, Paddy, I don't know whether you're a television presenter, a comedian, or an actor, or what. I mean, you do everything.
I don't know. I think I'm in the same boat as you, James. I'm not sure myself. I mean, I like being able to do those things. There's a lot of people who can only do one thing, you know. So I like the fact that I'm touring at the end of the year, so I can get on stage and do my stand-up and be a little bit more near to the edge and have fun and interact with people directly. So I love that. And then, you know, I do the hosting and the presenting, which I love, and it's a totally different skill, you know. But it's like anything else. I'm still learning. I never kind of sit back on my laurels, especially with the presenting. I'm always looking at other people and watching how they do it and, you know, critiquing myself, and hopefully I can do it better next time, you know. So I never sit back and relax.
If I mention Bernard Manning to you, you're going to go all sort of politically correct with me and tell me you couldn't stand him.
No, it's just a random question. It's just a bit random. But Bernard Manning, I think Bernard Manning and comedians of that ilk, when they were around in the pomp, which was kind of like 60s, 70s, early 80s, you know, that was pretty much a reflection of Britain at the time. So comedy to me is about kind of, your comedy is based on the era you live in. We all live in a kind of a multimedia world now, you know, and there is lots of different things, and it's very much reflective of that now, you know. So I think it's kind of, it's more of a generational thing, that.
I'll tell you why I ask you, because I knew when I used to have my TV show on every weekend, Bernard used to come on it quite a lot. He was at that time, he was sort of fairly looked upon as anarchic and everything else. But I think one thing that people who just dismissed him didn't understand is he had the most amazing comic timing, which, and I mention it because you have as well. You have the same kind of timing that Bernard had, and that you know, things just obviously come into your mind as well that make you laugh.
I think, yeah. I mean, you know, the thing with comic timing is, I honestly think you can't really learn that. You either have that instinct or you don't. And I'd always had the ability to, when I was working in kind of my everyday jobs, I always had the ability to get laughs in the staff room with people. But the hard part is doing that on stage. You know, a lot of people are funny at work, but we put them on a stage in front of a load of strangers and they can't do it. And touch wood, thank the Lord, I could, you know, and I just capitalised on that. But when you were just saying about Bernard Manning then, because I used to watch your show, I told you that I used to watch your show every week. I loved it. And I always remember you had a comedian on called Charlie Chuck. and I'm following him on Twitter now because he's still going. I remember seeing him on your show and I'm like, who is this? But I instantly liked him.
Well, he is still going, strangely enough. When I was on a program, I used to be on the panel of a program called Sky Star Search. It was like Britain's Got Talent, but years ago. And he was one of the acts, and he came on, and everybody said, "Oh, this is terrible." They said, "Oh, is he done it?" And I said, "This is the funniest thing I've ever seen. This is brilliant, absolutely brilliant." And
yeah, he was
so
fantastic.
either people loved him or they hated him.
Yeah, but talk about being ahead of your time, you know. So he was great, but I used to love it. I used to love your show, loved it.
Listen, we can't go on like this. People are going to think there's something wrong. I'm gonna throw a googly at you now. Okay, why don't you go the full hog and shave your hair off on your head?
Why?
Yeah.
Well, because I started losing it, James. It gets to the stage where when you're under TV lights, you think, this isn't looking well. So I always think you're better off getting it short and nice and neat rather than giving it like John McCririck and combing it over your head.
Yeah, I totally agree. I don't think you need to worry about your hair. You've got the right shaped
It's always a thing when you shave your head, isn't it? You always think, oh, please, I hope I haven't got like one of them weird bumps on top of my head or anything like that. So I got away with that one.
You see, women don't have this problem, do they?
Well, no, they don't, James. They don't. They're blessed.
I know. What do you do when you're not? I mean, presumably you just hang out at home. But do you have any hobbies? Is there anything you do that you enjoy, or you're a sports fan? What do you do?
Do you know? I just love being at home. I'm like that when I'm tour. I like that when I'm working. I always try and get home as much as I can. So I love being at home, and I've got 2 kids, so you don't have a bloody minute for yourself anyhow. So, you know, I've never had a hobby. The only thing I do every now and again is I'll jump on my Xbox and play on a few games and stuff like that. But and yes, I am 41. But but yeah, other than that, I think the kids just keep me busy all the time, James.
I mean, I know you don't live in London. You still live in Bolton.
Bolton, yeah.
Yeah. So, being as successful as you are, I mean, you must be in London a lot of the time. Have you not thought about moving? I mean, you'd be able to go to the parties, you'd be able to hang out, some dinners in Islington.
I did all that in my 20s. I think the thing when I am in London quite a bit, but what people don't realise when you're watching a show like Take Me Out when it's on for 12 weeks, I film all that in 9 days. You know, so I am down there for a week and a half or so, but then I'm home most of the time. So, and the show I'm filming at the minute, this new show, Benchmark, is great for me because I'm filming that at Manchester, so at Media City. So that's 20 minutes up the road in the car, film it, and I get straight home. So it's brilliant. But no, I've never really felt the need to move to London just purely because the trains are every 20 minutes from Manchester. It's 2 hours. You can go down, do a bit of stuff, and you can be back the same night.
Do you have more trouble, less trouble, or does it make any difference now when you walk down the street? I mean, I remember I've been on the radio for 15 years when I did my TV show, and the day after the first television show had been aired, I walked down the street I'd walked down for years, and people started talking to me.
Yeah, it's funny. I mean, the one, I think someone said, I can't remember who, but it's when people don't stop and talk to you when you've got to start worrying, you know. I've always been lucky with everything I've done TV. That it's always been I've always had, you know, it's always been good natured when people. So when people stopping you saying, "Can you have a photo with my son?" or "Can you have a photo with my wife?" or "Can the lads have a?" You know, it's flattering. You know, I've never had a problem with it really. You know, but I am quite a private person, and it feels as though everyone's looking at you. But you've just got to tell yourself, well, they're looking at you probably because they like what you do, you know, and it's not for anything bad. And it's just, that's the job, innit? That's what happens.
You're quite shy, really, aren't you?
I am shy, funnily enough. I'm very shy. I remember when I was at school, if I was late for a class, I'd sooner skip the whole class than go in 5 minutes late and have everyone sort of looking up at you. So I'd purposely sort of take the whole class off rather than walk in late.
Now, can you do me a big favour?
Does it involve dressing up in anything?
No. When I know you better, we can do that.
Right.
Can you get me on that show with Holly Willoughby?
Hello?
And can I sit next to her?
Yeah. I'll arrange that for you, James. That'll be nice.
Is that somebody your end talking or somebody my end talking? I'm not sure.
I think it's your end, James, but I've got to go now anyhow. I've got a script meeting and I'm on.
Can you hear me?
Hello,
one of my
James.
monitors has gone down. Just 1 second.
Hello.
Hello?
What's going on?
The power's gone for some reason. I'm trying to get everyone back. Just hang on.
What on earth are you doing?
I pressed the wrong button. I killed it. I killed Paddy McGuinness.
You stupid man. Honestly.
Weeks and weeks I've been trying to get him on the show and I killed him.
I'm just trying to meet Holly Willoughby. Hang on just a minute. Don't go away. Hold on. I'm just on the phone. I've got to... Right, hold on. Don't go anywhere. Paddy? Paddy, hi, Paddy. Oh, hi, Paddy. James, no. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Yeah, you know, he's just bloody useless. Bloody useless. No, I'm so sorry, mate. No, it wasn't a slur against you, honestly, Paddy. It was, no. We really enjoyed it. I just want to thank you for your time. No, I'm going to slap him. No, don't worry. No, don't. You don't have to do anything. I'll deal with it. No, Paddy. No, don't. No, that's fine. No, it's fine. Paddy, thank you very much indeed. Try, see what you can do with the Holly Willoughby thing, will you? Okay, all right, mate. Bye. Okay, toodaloo. Bye. Right, I think I've got us out of it. Do not put that bit out on the program, whatever you do.
Okay, I won't. I'll cut it out.
No, you better not. Golly. I mean, in the middle of how unprofessional did that sound?
I'm so ashamed.
I should bloody well think you should be ashamed. I've never... Oh, dear me, I don't know what to do with myself.
That's the last time I'm touching my knob when the guests are on.
You leave your hands off that knob, I've told you before. God, dear me. Now, let me get my composure back. Right. We haven't got much time left, have we, really? I wanted to talk about all sorts of stuff. Can we talk about vinyl records?
Go on, then, yeah.
You know, I'm a big vinyl fan, of course, and vinyl records are making a big comeback, and I chatted about this on Facebook earlier on in the week, and I wanted to know what was your first vinyl record. I talked about this on various other radio programs this week. My first vinyl record, I hear you ask me, was Jackie Wilson. Your Love Keeps Lifting Me Higher.
That's a good record.
Great record. Do you remember it?
I do. I didn't get the record, but I do remember the tune.
Oh, and sympathy to those people who loved, like I did, Percy Sledge, who died as well. And the great record, When a Man Loves a Woman, and it also had a big hit with Wrap Me in Your Warm and Tender Love. Vinyl. Doesn't it make you... Stuart Clark, hello, Stu. He says, James, the first record I bought was Madonna, Like a Virgin. But when I got home, there was no hole in the middle. Yeah. Not really sure what to say about that, Stuart, to be honest with you.
Take it back, get a refund.
Yeah. Dave Hughes, my first was Ding a Ling by Chuck Berry. I now play out Northern Soul and Motown and pay crazy prices for vinyl. Yeah, I think we should start James Whale retro disco around the country. Another Stuart Thorpe said, if I had known vinyl would still be around, I'd never have bought CDs. Yeah. I mean, what is it about vinyl? Of course, you can just go to the computer now and download any record you want, can't you?
You can. There's no need for CDs anymore.
No, why is it... Well, yeah, and CDs are sort of disappearing. Why is vinyl so much loved? Is it... I suppose it's the warmth, isn't it? It's like having an old car.
Yeah.
Linda Knight said the first single she bought was Terry by Twinkle, and the first LP was the Beatles' Hard Day's Night. What did you buy, Rob? What was your first record?
Bridge of Spies by Tapao.
Bridge of Spies by Tapao. There's what I haven't heard for a while. Of course, we've had Tapao on the programme. Well, we haven't had Tapao on the programme, have we?
We've had their music on the programme.
We've had their music on the programme. And, of course, Carol features in one of our shows. You can go back. I can't remember which programme it was. But, hey, listen, if you haven't listened before, there's over 80 hours of James Whale radio shows to be enjoyed right here, jameswhaleradio.co.uk. That's like the back catalogue of James Whale, isn't it?
It is, yes.
Yeah. So I might come back and do a few more of those. Should we do the tech talk now? Because I don't want to finish the programme, because after I finish it, I'm going to come around and give you a metaphorical thrashing.
You can give me a physical one if you like.
No, I'm not coming all the way to North Wales. Thank you very much.
Okay.
And it's cloudy and it's raining up there.
It's not. It's sort of
the sun's
sunny.
shining here, and I've got temperature highs of 25.
It's a bit grey, actually, to be fair.
Is it? When isn't it? That's the question. Right. So, Tech Talk presented by Rob.
Well, I thought we'd talk about this new Periscope thing that we've all been playing with.
You haven't been playing with my Periscope, have you?
I've been watching you play with your Periscope.
Yeah, well, Periscope is out there, and just before I did this show with Paddy, we did a little live broadcast from my office where this show is coming to you from. So, if you weren't watching it live, can you go back? You can go back and see it, can't you?
I think if they're following you on Twitter, they can see it again. Yeah,
Yeah.
Maybe we can find the link and I'll tweet it out.
Yeah, if we can find it, we'll put it out, and you can have a look. A bit silly, yeah.
It's very
so
good.
Periscope is a form of Twitter, is it?
It's owned by Twitter. It's basically Twitter with a live video feed. So you basically hold a camera up to you and you start chatting, and then people can tweet their questions to you or get you to do things, and then they can see what's happening live.
Well, why don't we arrange to do one evening, one afternoon, probably one evening, one early morning, whenever people want, and we'll do a live Periscope sort of question and answer.
Yeah, we can do that. Ask me anything,
Yeah, let's do
James
that.
Whale Periscope. Yeah.
Ask me anything, yeah. Okay, so check out, if you haven't checked out Periscope, check it out, and then follow me at the James Whale, and we can all sort of, can people sort of Periscope in and ask their questions live or not?
They text it live, yes.
They text it live.
Yeah.
Okay. We should try that. We should definitely try that.
Yeah, we'll
right.
give it a go.
Thank you for that. Now, I was going to say something of great importance, and I've forgotten what it was now. Oh, we haven't given Tony Fisher a mention for ages.
I was thinking about him earlier for some strange reason.
Were you?
Yes.
Well, yeah, I don't know why. Well, Tony Fisher, of course, well-known DJ, listens to this all the time, and he always tweets about it. So hi to Tony. And all our friends on Talent GB. Have you checked out Talent GB? You really should check out Talent GB, particularly if you are an act of some sort, because it might be a way of getting more work. Go and have a look at their website, talentgb.com. And, of course, as we mentioned, lots of radio stations that take this program. You can find us all over the place, can't you?
You can, yeah. We're everywhere.
Shall we do questions for the Oracle? We always like to finish up. We haven't had any music. Have we got any music on the show?
Do you want some music, and then we'll do some questions after music?
Yeah, because I've forgotten all about music. We should always have a bit of music.
Yeah. I've made a mistake in the running order, by the way.
Why?
I put the band and then the name, and then band and then the name. So the second one is actually the track.
What, you mean The Cure?
Is not the band.
No, Symmetry is the band.
Yes.
And they're playing a track called The Cure.
That's correct.
Yeah, well, I knew that, didn't you?
Well, it says band Symmetry, band The Cure.
Does it?
Yeah.
Do you know, you've made so many cock-ups on this programme today, haven't you?
I had a good night's sleep last night for the first time ever. I think I'm still asleep.
Well, could you not? Could you do what you normally do and not go to sleep?
Yeah, next week I'm definitely not going to sleep.
No, keep the sleep apnea going.
Yeah, okay.
All right, so here we go. This is The Cure with Symmetry.
It's not the other way round.
No, I know, I'm just testing.
Okay.
Right, here we are. The Symmetry and Cure.
I keep letting you get to me, driving me out of my mind. You just keep my head spinning around now. That's alright, I'll be fine. I can appreciate. You think I need a remedy. Don't try and save me. When you are around me, you know I can't speak, 'cause you know I'm trying to score. Girl, you are my sickness, and I want more. Baby, I don't want the cure. My prescription is overdue.
pure.
There we are. That was they were the Symmetry, or they were Symmetry, and that was a track called The Band. And of course, I wouldn't sound so worried if my producer had given me the right information. We'd be all right. If you like that, and what's not to like, you can find out more on iTunes. Check out their website, symmetryband.com. Symmetry, spell SYMMERTY, band, BAND.com, and you can find out more. So, I want to go back to vinyl and some of your thoughts. Rose Palmer, hello Rose, she says, I've got a box full of A player. Maybe I should hang on to them. What's A player?
And A player.
Oh, and A player. You've got a box full and A player. Well, Rose, can you let me know what you've got? It might be something worth having. You never know. If it's a Sex Pistols promo copy of God Save the Queen, which I gave away many years ago, it's worth quite a lot of money now, which is a shame, but never mind. You can just email me, jameswellradio@gmail.com. Anybody wants to email the show, get in touch, of course, with loads of things. If you want a message for your answer phone, we do those. We do jingles for radio stations. We do loads of stuff here. In fact, we'll do almost anything if the money is right. jameswellradio@gmail.com. Did you sort out that booking that people who wanted me to go to a birthday party?
I did, yes. You've got to dress up in a teddy bear outfit.
Yeah, okay. And I'm not singing, though.
No singing, no. I've told them no singing.
Right. Yeah. And midnight I leave.
Midnight, yes, you have to leave at midnight.
Yeah. But can you make sure they realise they've got to pay the money before the event? Otherwise, I may not go.
We've had the money. It's okay.
Oh, fine. Well, I shall look forward to coming along to that event. jameswellradio@gmail.com. Tom Flood, Bimbo by the Most Powerful Man in the Universe. What a great record that was. I'd forgotten I did that. Slightly embarrassing now, but at the time it was funny. Got to number 40 in the charts as well. Marin Schultz says, Hey, Hey, Paula, by Paula and Paula, way back in 1962. Marion, you're not that old. I don't believe it. Rob Hare's first single, Sugar Baby Love by the Rubettes, and his first album was ABBA's Greatest Hits. Not something I would actually tell people it was my first. Well, yeah, I remember the first record I asked my parents to buy me was Tommy Steele and Little White Ball. Little White Ball. Do you remember that? No, probably not. Mark says Ashes to Ashes by David Bowie. That was a good one. Sally Johnson Green says, yes, I care. Vinyls are a huge part of my legacy as a child born in 65 and proud of it. Phil Richards, best sound on vinyl. First record I bought was a single. It was Don't Go by Yazoo, and it cost 79p. Yazoo. It's a name I haven't heard of for years. Let's have one more. Philip Stone. Got loads of 7, 10 and 12 inches and LPs. First one I can remember buying was You're More Than a Number in my little red book by the Drifters. How my musical tastes have changed. Right, okay, so we got some questions.
Yes, let's do some questions. Let me have a look. I'll get to the right page. See, I typed all these things out, you see.
It's another mistake.
I can't memorise them, so I have to type them out.
No.
Okay.
Good. Okay.
Gary Brown. Here we go.
Gary Brown. Hello, Gary Brown. Welcome to the show. You're tuned to the James Well Radio Show at jameswellradio.co.uk. Gary, good to have you as a listener, Gary. What can I do for you?
Why is my £15 a month phone contract always nearly £20?
Because you keep sticking that phone to your stupid ear, Gary, as you walk down the street and making calls you have no need to make. Gary, get a life. Use the phone less. Next question.
I would have thought it'd be VAT, wouldn't it? VAT on £15 would be 18 quid.
Why do you always have to be serious when I'm trying to make an entertaining programme? Why do you always have to do that?
Are you calling me serious?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Why do you always have to give a serious answer to something that obviously wasn't serious? If he was really that concerned, he'd flipping well sort it out himself, wouldn't he?
All right, then. Steve Luke, who invented the ironing board?
Somebody who was bored. Somebody who was bored and thought, I need to do something. Why don't I invent a plank of wood with legs on it so you can iron your shirt? Saves you having to kneel down and do it on the floor.
Rob Murphy, a Nigerian prince, recently emailed me asking me to help him out move some money from Nigeria to an American bank. I have to give him £5,000 and then he'll move the money and repay me 10 times over. Is this a good deal?
If you think it's a good deal, mate, you go right ahead, because if you're that stupid as to fall for that, you deserve everything you get. I wouldn't go anywhere near it.
Stuart Clark again.
Do you think this is the Stuart Clark?
The one that's involved in radio.
The one from Radio Today, that's Stuart Clark. Who do you think is that Stuart? Is this you, Stuart? If you want to be a guest on the show, Stuart, all you've got to do is just email jameswellradio@gmail.com. We'll get Stuart Clark on.
Yeah.
He'd be fun. Yeah, let's do that. What does he want to know?
He wants to know, should we go to proportional representation system and compulsory voting? That's a boring question.
It's a very boring question, but to give you a really boring answer, I don't think it would work. Compulsory voting, well, we have... can you force people in a democracy? I don't know that you can. I think what you could do is, in a serious answer to a question that is seriously asked, Stuart, I think we should reinvent the way we vote. And I think that social media, email, and various other things now should be brought in. Now, obviously, you've got to make these safe so there is no abuse, but I think a lot more people would vote. And I think I'd like to ask the question, should people be allowed to vote from the age of 16? You know, you can join the armed forces at 16, but you can't vote. I think something has to be done there. Should we go to proportional representation? Well, we had a referendum about that, and people said no, didn't they?
Must have been before my time.
There wasn't. It was just a few years ago.
Oh, was it? I wasn't awake then. Okay.
No, well, you're not often awake, obviously. Next question, come on.
Michael Mashed Up Walden, that's a good name. Does Cameron like ukuleles?
Of course he does. Next question.
Okay, Ian Lucy. We all know that bidets squirt water up your bum. Why don't they have hot air to dry afterwards?
Do you know, that is a very good question. Ian, why don't you invent that? Could be a few bob in it.
And the last one now, because I'm getting bored. Thomas Johnson.
You're getting bored.
I'm
getting bored with your voice and your mistakes today.
I can't read either. Thomas Johnson, this is a big one. In the movie Close Encounters of the Third Kind, have you seen that film?
Yes, go on.
Okay. The scientists have to communicate with the aliens using musical notes.
Beep, bop, bop, beep, bop, bop.
Not quite. The spaceship opens and the Earthlings, the aliens have abducted through the years, disembark.
Yeah.
Some of the abductees have been with the aliens for at least 30 years. So why haven't they learned how to speak English? The aliens, that is.
Do you know, why on earth would you worry about something like that? The answer's simple, okay? The answer's simple because it would have made the film too obvious. And it may well be that when those aliens released their abductees, their memories were wiped clean of their experiences, and so as not to sort of freak out everybody else, they wanted to communicate only in musical notes. And it may well be that the rest of the universe only communicate in musical notes, and that if we want to communicate with the rest of the universe, we had better learn their language rather than worry about them learning ours, because they probably think ours is fairly insignificant and not worth learning, in the same way that we feel that about most other languages.
Wow. I wasn't expecting that answer.
It was a good one, though, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a good one. Yeah.
I'm going to have to go and lie down now, because after you destroying the end of my interview with Paddy McGuinness and possibly messing up my chance of ever meeting Ollie Willoughby, I think that's about it until the next time. I'm going. So bend over. Thank you. Because I think that...
James, put it down.